What's up, family? Welcome to Speak, the biggest saga in the sports world. It continues. What we have been talking about all week, and so glad to have you here. Part of the discussion is this. Russell Wilson, he might go down as being a part of the worst trade in the history of the National Football League. I do not say that with any levity. It's as serious as it can get. But get this, the Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson's current employer, at least for the next 7 days, they're giving Russell Wilson immediate permission to meet with teams in the opposing team's hometown. And Russ, go ahead and start to find a new location, a new destination. So allow me to give you the 5 best fits for Russell Wilson to land on. These are the 5 teams in my mind in descending order that make the most sense for Russ. At number 5, nobody's talking about it yet. It's got to be the Minnesota Vikings. See, when you think about the Minnesota Vikings, they have been knocking on the door for a while, but they haven't kicked the door down. Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles tear. They're likely going to move on from Kirk. He's had 6 to 7 good years there. At number 4, how about the Raiders? They thought they had a solution with Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, it was one of the worst solutions to an equation that you can ever come up with. That did not work out. Aiden O'Connell, he's not the future. Maybe Russell Wilson stays on the West Coast and joins the Las Vegas Raiders. At number 3, the Atlanta Falcons. They currently have no solution at quarterback. A couple years back, it was Marcus Mariota. And then it was Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke. They don't really have a solution at the quarterback position, and they have a brand new head coach. They could use a leader like Russell Wilson. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, but Acho, don't the Falcons have a high draft pick? They don't. It's 8. 8's not going to get you Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. It likely won't get you Drake May, but you can get Russell Wilson. At number 2, this is where I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Many people think the Pittsburgh Steelers are the best fit, the best matchup, the prime time position. I will elaborate as to why they are not later. But at number 1 is the New England Patriots. In my mind, the Patriots are the best fit for Russell Wilson. The Broncos have granted Russell Wilson immediate permission to sit and meet with other teams in the other team's hometown. I think the Patriots need to be his very first visit. Shady, it's good to see you. Of everybody, it's good to see you. It's really good to see you. I'm not gonna lie, Shady. I'm not gonna lie. You're a changed man.
I do look good as a brown.
You know what I mean? Like, Shady, he lost a little bit of weight. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, he doesn't wear suit jackets to work anymore. Now he just wears turtlenecks.
You see the definition.
Turtleneck season's over. But look, Shady, you know what I mean? Like, he got a couple abs.
I didn't get the diamonds. I'm just completely blinging. You know what I mean?
He completely changed. He's a changed man. He's a changed man. That's James Jones, Super Bowl champ on the far end. To his right, the brilliant Joy Taylor. Joy, I'll start with you because you are the Pittsburgh native, and I said this a couple days ago, and you disagreed with me. I wanted to give you 2 days to digest the information.
Yeah, we all did.
I mean, but Joy was the loudest, okay? Maybe because she's the closest, but she was the loudest. I'm going to give you 2 days to digest the information. I will ask you again. Do you agree that the Patriots are the best fit for Russell Wilson?
No, I do not. And you're going to have to elaborate, because you did the list, but you gave lots of little reasons, and then we just went straight to the desk to introduce us, which I appreciate. But we're going to circle back around to you on the explanation. I think the Patriots are in a complete and utter rebuild. They have no culture. They have no identity. They need to do the roster. They need to do skill positions. They need to do the quarterback. So there's no way I'm even considering the Patriots if I'm Russ. You said this yesterday. I do speak for a living, but I also professionally listen. You said Russell Wilson has a Hall of Fame career.
Yes.
He's not a Hall of Fame talent.
Yep.
He has a Hall of Fame career.
True.
Good point.
Well, he's in a very interesting place in his Hall of Fame career, where we aren't sure what he is, and we don't know what the future looks like. Well, if your Hall of Fame case is based off your career, I don't think you can let it get any worse. So why are you going to a situation that has absolutely no infrastructure, is passing on from a legendary coach that was there for 2 decades, who had a terrible time replacing their legendary quarterback? So the expectations are unknown. Do we expect the Patriots to rebuild immediately? Do we expect them to be bad? I don't know. But if I'm Russell Wilson, I don't want to be a part of that narrative. And I'm coming in having to be an answer there.
Yeah.
There's nothing set up. That's what he just left. So as far as a landing spot for him, it doesn't make any sense. But I also don't think it makes any sense for the Patriots. You're trying to rebuild. You don't want to let Belichick haunt you. You need to give the new coach, Mayo, a chance, and you need to rebuild the roster and the culture and identity. Russell Wilson does not need, nor should he want, to go to a place where he has to be the answer to everything. He should want to go to a place where he is the answer for the quarterback position. And the Patriots have a lot of questions that Russell Wilson cannot fulfill. So I don't think it's a good place for him to go.
That was actually incredibly well said. Incredibly well said.
I thought about it.
It was incredibly well said. 2-5, where you stand on it? You think the Patriots could be the best situation?
What are we talking about? Why'd you, before I even go? Yeah. What are we talking about? Like, why do you pick the Patriots?
The Patriots make the most sense, and I will elaborate because I haven't given you all enough. Patriots make the most sense for a best fit. Now, Joy made a great point as it pertains to Russ should not want to go there.
Okay.
But when I'm thinking of best fit, the Patriots right now, until we have further information, they got a bridge coach. Gerard Mayo, we do not know if he's going to be the coach for the next 5 to 10 years. He's a bridge coach. Russell Wilson is a bridge quarterback. Gerard Mayo is unknown as a head coach. Russell Wilson right now as a talent is an unknown as a quarterback. The Patriots are a question mark. They're an enigmatic organization right now. And right now, Russell Wilson is an enigma at the quarterback position. It's the unknown with the unknown. My dilemma 2-5, LeSean McCoy with the Steelers is we believe that the Steelers are a known entity with Tomlin, a known entity as an organization, a known entity as a team. And you want to combine this known entity with this completely unknown entity. You want to combine a stable organization with a bridge quarterback. I think that is a terrible combination. Give me unknown with unknown and let them continue to be known together, as opposed to believing that Russ is the perfect fit for a Steelers organization, which I just don't believe to be the case.
I'm lost. Unknown, known. I'm like, block call, unknown call. I'm lost. You got me puzzled here. I'll just say this. I think it makes more sense for the Steelers because they have people and players already in line. Got a really, really good coach, right, with Mike Tomlin, who's a Hall of Fame type of coach. Only thing he needs is a quarterback. And he don't need a Patrick Mahomes. He don't need a Josh Allen. He just needs a solid, efficient quarterback, the stuff that Russell did last year. He averaged 230-some yards a game last year, and he had 29 touchdowns. The Steelers would take that in a heartbeat. Look at the Patriots. I mean, they come from having the most overrated coach of all time, right? He leaves. And then you look at the team now, they have a bad offense, bad defense. They don't know who's going to be the quarterback, who's going to be the wide receivers. Who they got over there? They got so many holes to fill. It doesn't make sense for a guy like Russell to come there. And you got a new coach. That's a whole rebuild. You have a player that has so much success. Why do you want to use him to rebuild? The Steelers are not a rebuilding team. They have a great defense, a solid special teams. They have a lot of offensive weapons that you can use. All they need is one quarterback that don't have to save the day, but just be efficient football. That's all they need. The whole thing with the Patriots is like praying for everything. God, please let this thing work.
James, I believe the biggest lie that has been perpetuated this week on this show.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
The biggest lie is that the Steelers are a quarterback away.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest lie.
How's that lie?
Because
in the playoffs with defense.
Because we believe.
I don't know how they made the playoffs.
Because we believe that, if they just had a quarterback, they'd be a Super Bowl team. No, I think you need another cornerback opposite Porter. I think you need another linebacker opposite Roberts. I think Cam Hayward's getting significantly older, so I think you need another defensive tackle. I think you need consistency at the running back position. Are you going with Harris? Are you going with Warren? I think you need maturation at the wide receiver position. I do not believe they're just a quarterback away. I think that is a lie that is being perpetuated, and we say that all the time so frequently about teams. The Cleveland Browns, they thought to themselves, we're just a quarterback away. That's what they thought. The Denver Broncos thought to themselves, we're just a quarterback away. The New York Jets gave everything for Aaron Rodgers. We're just a quarterback away. That is a lie that I believe so many teams perpetuate, and that's a lie that I think we're currently perpetuating. I do not believe the Steelers are a quarterback away. I think they're a quarterback and some.
So real quick, before you go, James, how do you explain the Steelers with the roster they have, with the offense they have, with the offense production they have, and every year they're on the brink of making the playoffs?
I think they're a good team. But I think the chasm between the Steelers and a Super Bowl is more than just Russell Wilson.
Well, see, we doing the Super Bowl thing again.
The chasm between the Steelers and an AFC championship game is more than just Russell Wilson. I went back and did homework after the show we had yesterday. In 2018, Ben Roethlisberger led the National Football League in passing yards with 5,200 of them, including 34 passing touchdowns. The Steelers did not advance to a championship game. That is a better season than Russell Wilson had last year, the year before, or the year before. So what I'm suggesting is that the Steelers are more than just Russell Wilson.
But that was 2018. It's 2024.
Who was he throwing to?
That's a completely different roster.
It is.
Wait, who was he throwing to? All them yards, he had to throw to somebody that was really, really good. Who's he throwing to? Because I don't want to make a mistake here. I don't recall.
Antonio Brown.
No, let him answer, because he knows.
What point are you making?
I'm just saying, like, you had Antonio Brown.
But 2018 and 2024, this is a completely different team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the same team. All I'm saying, and Jay, you please take the next word. What I'm saying is the Steelers have been good on defense, and they have had competent quarterback play, and they have not been close to a Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so really quick, before I get started, what do the Steelers need?
I think they need another cornerback. I think they need another off-ball linebacker. I think they need another detail.
Because you're saying corner, you're saying all this. The defense played at a really high level.
Yes, sir.
What do the Steelers need to compete and have a chance to win a championship?
You can go in order if you want.
Okay, you want me to go in order? Most important to least important?
Acho, what's the most important?
The most important quarterback.
Ding,
Of course.
ding, ding.
Of course.
There you go.
Of course.
You win $10,000.
But the problem is, what's misleading is that's just not the only.
But I understand. I understand where you're going.
That's
right?
every
It's
team.
very rare that you're going to look at a team and say, "Man, they the Dallas Cowboys roster or the Niners roster from top to bottom, a complete team." Right? It's not a lot of teams in the National Football League like that. But if it's a team that's close, that has everything that you need to succeed, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 really good pass rushers, a defense that plays year in and year out at a high level, 2 stars at receiver that are really young in Johnson and Pickens, a really good young tight end, and 2 really good running backs.
You're exaggerating. You exaggerated a lot.
What?
You said 2 stars at receiver. Those 2 receivers are not stars.
Take the star
You
off.
said 2
George
really
Pickens
good
is
running
gonna be a
backs.
star.
You said
Deontay Johnson is a $40 million receiver. He could play the game at a high level, Pro Bowl, however we want to look at it. So I'll take the star off. 2 really good wide receivers, better than what he had in Denver. Give me Deontay Johnson and Pickens.
I'll give you Pickens,
but Judy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
yes,
better
yes,
than
sir.
what he had in
Yes, sir.
Denver.
Yes, sir.
2 really good running backs, better than what he had in Denver.
We're talking.
Better than what he had in Denver. This is
After injuries, yes.
There's a lot of injuries. Yeah,
After injuries, yes. After injuries, yes.
This is a really good roster that when you look at the roster, they're a quarterback away of really competing to win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of things that have to go right to win a Super Bowl. But I'm going to tell you what has to go right in New England. Right? Yeah, I ain't even going to start because the block will be over. There's so much that has to go right in New England. They average 14 points a game.
Yeah,
we can't talk about nobody on the offensive side of the ball. And I agree with Joy. Russell Wilson, this is a time for him to revive his career.
Yeah, fair.
Because kind of like we talk about Bill Belichick not being able to get nothing done and the numbers go down when he had Tom Brady, this dude without Pete Carroll looks like a totally different player. And if he doesn't get to a really good situation to where he can revive his career back to a winner, I'm not talking about all these stats and all that, back to a winner, we might be talking about Russ. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yeah. Is he going to make the Hall of Fame, even though he has Hall of Fame numbers? So he needs to go to a situation, Pittsburgh Steelers, to be able to revive his career and get back to winning. Now, a sneaky pick up there was my Raiders. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs hopefully back in the backfield. You got Jacoby over there at the other wide receiver, Max Crosby on the defense. There's some good stuff over there that he could possibly compete over there as well. But the Patriots, they shouldn't even be on that list, big dog.
Yeah, no shade to the Raiders, but I'm not going in that division. And I'm not going to another first-time head coach. I understand he's interim, but I'm not doing that. I just came. That's why we're in a situation in the first place.
Yep, that's good.
So no, I'm going somewhere where the coach is established, the culture is established. I don't have to carry everything. This is a pivotal point in Russell Wilson's career, and on top of all of that, it's not about him becoming a Super Bowl contender. It's not about the Steelers. Even for me, as much as I want to say Russ makes them Super Bowl contenders, I'm tired of talking about Super Bowl contenders. We were talking about the Jets for 6 months. Mm-hmm. What happened? 4 plays in, popped Achilles, done. We're done talking about it. So the actual contenders, the true contenders, we throw that word around, we throw all these words around, GOAT, contenders, elite, blah, blah, blah. The true contenders, there's like 3. There's like really three teams. There's like 3 teams. And maybe the 4th rotates every single year. There really are not that many contenders. A lot has to happen for you to win a Super Bowl. You're probably right. They probably do need a few more pieces. Although I would not necessarily argue that the pieces need to be on defense, because the defense is winning games against other great teams in their own division every single year. He makes them competitive, which even though they are in the playoffs, even though they are at the top of their division, even though they're beating teams in the division that are going to the AFC Championship game, that are competitive every single year, that have really, really high-level quarterbacks, they can't compete in the postseason. He makes them competitive, and that is what they don't have right now. If I'm Russ, I'm not going to a team that has a first-time head coach. I just went through that. Why would I want to do that again? Why would I want to pair myself up with an unknown, when I am, at least by my credibility as far as what I've already accomplished, a known. And I'm not at the point in my career where a team is truly going to build around me. That's really what it is with Russ. Russ is not a rookie. Russ is not a young player. He's a young person, but he's not a young player. You're not going to set Russ up to be your starting quarterback, your franchise guy for the next 10, 15 years. That's not what the plan is with Russ. So he absolutely needs to go to a place that, even though they might need some more pieces, is ready to win this year or next year. And there's not that many options when you look across the board.
For Russ, I do believe the best decision is Pittsburgh. For Russ, I agree. That's why I said the first point you made was brilliant. It was brilliant. Like, if Russ should listen to what you said, he should go visit Mike Tomlin and hope Mike Tomlin says yes. Here's my fear. I view Russ Shady joining Pittsburgh to some degree like Russ Westbrook when he joined L.A. James Harden when he joined the Sixers. It's like, oh, if they just had Westbrook, are they going to get him over the edge? Remember, man, they won a championship in a bubble with that. If they just had Westbrook, get him over the edge. But that player and this player are no longer the same player. That player and this player aren't the same guy. My problem with Russ joining Pittsburgh, I believe the expectations are completely unrealistic. I believe Russell Wilson would join the Steelers, and Steelers fans would complain that if only we had better quarterback play. Because the defense will likely still be top 10. The wide receivers are still getting better. They're getting older. I believe the running back room will still be good enough. I think that Russell Wilson will likely join that team under a first-time offensive coordinator in that organization after they just fired their offensive coordinator last year. Arthur Smith has to now learn, how am I going to take a backseat after being a head coach the last 2 years? I think Russell Wilson potentially will struggle early, and Steelers fans will say, man, if we only had better quarterback play. Burrow's in our division. Lamar's in our division. Deshaun or question marks in our division. If Russ was just as good as those dudes, I just think it's the Band-Aid to something that needs surgery.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.